The Phonograph by Rachel Howard. Adam groaned and dropped his duffel bag and backpack heavily onto the floor in the small cabin he and his family had just entered. They would be here for almost 2 weeks, his dad's idea of having a family bonding and a good summer vacation. It had rained the entire 5-hour drive to the cabin, and the dark gray clouds that hung low in the sky didn't seem to be drifting away. Outside was the heavily forested state park, and just about nothing else. They hadn't even passed a ranger's hut for miles and miles. Did he forget to mention that there wasn't even internet or cell service there? This is great, Julia, Adam's twin sister, dropped her duffel bag onto the floor and flopped back on the old creaky couch. She was a lot like their dad and couldn't think of anything more fun than hiding out in the middle of nowhere for 2 weeks, just spending time with family and hiking when the mood struck. She and Adam had so many differences in their personalities that he couldn't believe they had shared the same womb. Yeah, it's awesome, Adam said. He sat down on the couch next to her and noticed the old clunky television set on the wooden console table in front of them. His dreams of faking sick to watch daytime Major League Baseball while the rest of the family hiked around the mountains quickly died. Look at this, Dad explained. Walking through the doorway, his hair was plastered with water and rain dripped down his face. There's even a fireplace. Can't wait to get that all built up. Mom shut the bathroom door behind her. At least the toilets work, she muttered. Adam immediately felt a rush of goodwill and companionship towards his mom, whom he usually fought with over the TV's remote control and the family computer. The fact that he didn't have his own computer was a whole other issue. This is really going to be fabulous, his dad said. He swiped his hair back over his head so it slicked back and shook off his hands. He locked the door and got busy unpacking all of the groceries they had purchased at the mini mart just outside the state park. Adam's mom rolled her eyes and sat between Adam and Julia on the couch. Their mom had been kind of weird around their dad for a while now. Julia and Adam talked about it before they left. Mom seemed distant, always looking off in another direction whenever anyone asked her a question, washing clean dishes that were sitting in the drying rack, things like that. Dad didn't want to talk about it. He just said that Mom had lots of things on her mind and the twins should leave her alone. Adam hated when their dad brushed things under the rug like that, but Julia said it was his way of coping. She always seemed to have the answer to that sort of emotional thing. What's on TV? Mom said, reaching towards the fat old-fashioned remote. Nuh-uh, Dad said, rushing over and pulling the remote out of her hands. Let's just see how far we can go without watching TV, like we said, right? Mom leaned back on the couch and crossed her arms. I'm going to unpack, Julia said, standing up. She looked at Adam pointedly, and he followed her to the back of the house where they would share the second room. He closed the door behind him. Wow, there's a lot of tension in that room, she said, dropping her duffel onto the bed by the window. Yeah, Adam said. He liked to let Julia analyze certain situations before he formed an opinion about them. He supposed this was part of being a twin, but maybe he was just lazy. I just feel that Mom's been so distant lately, and Dad's been so weird about it. There has to be something else going on, right? Julia stood half looking at him across the room, with her hands on her hips in the gloominess from the outside rain. She looked like a shorter version of their mom, except with light hair. Yeah, Adam said. What do you think it's all about? She sat on the bed and looked at him intently. I don't know, Adam said truthfully. How was he supposed to try to understand his parents' world? Can't you contribute anything, Adam? July hurled at him and stomped out of the room. Wow, Adam thought. We haven't even been here 3 hours, and already everyone is angry at each other. Adam fell back onto the bed and stared at the boring wood ceiling. He noticed a small metal door handle in the far left corner of the ceiling, obscured by a deep shadow. Adam was curious, so he pulled the bed over to the wall and reached high above to pull down the door handle to open it. It opened up a wide rectangular trapdoor in the ceiling. There must be an attic up here. Adam listened hard for any noise from his family, but he heard nothing. He assumed they were all stewing in anger. His dad trying to make a remote vacation special, his mom crippled by boredom, like Adam was, and his sister annoyed that Adam had proven once again to be a terrible confidant and boss and bosom body. He shrugged and pulled himself up, monkey bar style, into the attic. It was a big square room with two grimy windows looking both north and south. The people who owned the cabin must have stored all of their personal stuff in the attic when they rented it out to people crazy enough to actually pay to stay there. Here, Adam thought. There were cardboard boxes stacked up to the slanted ceilings and piles of old paper stacked up on old wooden tables and chairs. A mannequin with a black lacy dress huddled next to a large whitish wardrobe, and an old clock lay overturned by a few huge ornate trunks with gold molding on the sides. Adam moved further into the room, coughing against the dust that billowed up off the floor. In the corner was a large machine that had an old-fashioned horn standing up out of it. Adam had seen pictures of this object before, but had never seen a phonograph in real life. He walked toward it, drawn by the dusty brass horn and heavy box that held it up. He touched the scalloped edges of the horn, running his fingertips along the circumference of it. It was so different from sleek technology, his iPhone and flat-screen TV and Wii game console, that he had spent so much time connected to. This record player was not something you could just pick up and carry around in your pocket, listening to whatever music you wanted at whatever hour of the day. Adam dusted the phonograph off with the hem of his sweatshirt, which immediately turned gray. Mom wouldn't be too happy about that. There was a brass knob on the side of the box. Adam turned it to wind it up. Nothing happened. Adam thought it might be like a music box, where you wound the knob just so a high-pitched, tinny sound could be released. But this didn't seem to be working. Adam stopped turning the knob and decided to try something he had only seen in cartoons. He put a sharp needle down in the black circle that had been placed on the top of the box. All of a sudden, faraway sounding music